Hello!
Hello!
I always like to start the stream off by staring into the camera creepily. Hi everybody, welcome to Office Hours. Happy Friday. Yay, it's Friday.
I spent like about 10 minutes in bed this morning figuring out if it was Thursday or Friday. I couldn't figure it out.
I spent about 10 minutes in bed being like, I need to wake up, I need to wake up, I need to wake up, I need to wake up. Yeah, this morning it was hard. It was hard to get out of bed, but.
We're so spoiled because we're talking about waking up like at 9.
Yeah, I mean, we don't come into the office until 10. I have a few friends who have to leave their house at like 6. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know how I could live.
I could not function.
Doesn't
at that
sound
hour.
fun at all. Okay, there we go. I was like trying to find the right place on this.
Odds of war. That's amazing.
There's odds of war. Oh, actually, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, that's our new name.
But I like Padre too.
Padre is fun.
Yeah.
I like odds of war because my family calls me Odd,
Oh.
which
That's
I mean
cute.
I am. So
Yeah.
hey. Anyway,
Odd.
hello. Yes, if you've never tuned in to Office Hours, I am Audrey. Oh, sorry. Just
Microphone
slam my
check.
mic. I'm Audrey. I'm one of the senior account managers here at Online Performers Group, and
I'm Janessa, also known as Pods.
Pots of War. Pots of War. Anyway, we're here. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for being here. That's a little bit smaller than usual, the chat.
I can read it.
But hi
Here.
everybody that's here.
Hi. Welcome. Oh, look at that. It's better now. Look at
Oh,
that.
it's better now.
Boom, boom.
Thank you.
Producer Adri is on top of it. Got it.
We have an all-female crew today.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh, hype, dude.
This episode of Office Hours is powered by girls.
Women.
Women's
Girls, women.
Women's better.
This is going great so far. I love it.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
5
yeah.
minutes in. Let's go. Anyway, okay, I was like, what? Welcome. Yes, we've introduced ourselves. We checked off that box. We're
Yep.
good. If you've never been here before, I'll explain a little bit about what Office Hours is. Oh,
Hot in here.
wow. Inappropriate to us.
This is Office Hours.
This is Office Hours. No. We're here to kind of talk about all the things that make up this business of streaming. Behind the scenes stuff, in front of a camera stuff, kind of all of it together, and trying to help out, smaller streamers or bigger streamers, whoever you are.
Right.
We have clients of our own and things like that. We help them on a daily basis. But, this is for everybody else who can't necessarily be a client.
Yeah.
Maybe you're thinking about starting streaming, something like that. We're here to help you. We're here to answer your questions. We have a topic, but anything that you have a question about that doesn't even pertain to the topic, that's fine. If it's a streaming question, a business question, whatever, feel free to ask in chat over here. You can also tweet at us and use the hashtag AskOPG. We'll pay attention to that. And if you have any questions, just let us know, and we will try to answer them to the best of our professional abilities. And I'm gonna drink from my OPG mug now.
You got to turn it to the side though to get the logo.
I'm gonna face you while I drink. Okay.
Yeah,
There we go.
exactly. This is called product
It's like
placement.
that scene from Wayne's World, which I've watched like 3
this
times
is-
this week. So.
This is so fitting because we're talking about sponsorship. So
It is.
sometimes you have to drink from branded cups.
This is not sponsored content because I
This is-
work here.
Yeah, we don't have to disclose. You guys should know we work
Hashtag
there.
ad. No.
But yeah, Office Hours is our show where we just go over some items because we have 50 clients, which is a lot.
Yeah.
50 plus.
50 plus.
I forget what the number
It's a number in there. It's a lot of clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of streamers out there, and you guys all need help and advice. And an overall healthier marketplace is better for everybody.
Yep.
So even though we can't work for everyone, we want to give back a little bit. So we take 2 hours out of every Friday. And today you got Padre.
You got us. Sorry. I apologize. No, this is great, actually. We are 2 of the most professional people here, so,
I was trying to be professional, and I just got this awkward
This weird side.
Look at
thing,
them!
yeah.
Look at this Mixer Twitch thing. We don't just represent Twitch. Look.
Just cover it up. See, I have a Twitch shirt on today. This is perfect. I don't know. Maximum professionalism, exactly. Sponsorships, well, drops on Twitch lately, kind of soft deals for streamers. Is it technically an FTC type sponsorship to have drops in channel? See, that's a really good question, actually, and I've thought about this a bit. So, like, when you're playing something like Warframe,
Yeah.
Warframe partners have drops and things like that. So if you're watching Warframe and you're like signed into your account and your Twitch and Warframe accounts are connected, then you get items in game for watching a Warframe stream. I don't consider that sponsored work. I don't know what the FTC would consider it, but I don't think they would consider it sponsored work either, because you're just playing a game that you normally would play anyway.
Right.
You're not necessarily advertising it.
Yeah, and that person isn't like getting paid per drop.
If that was the story, then that would be totally different. But yeah,
right, yeah.
They're not actually benefiting from the drops, other than maybe getting more audience members in who are interested in getting the drops. And that's basically where that payback is, I suppose. But I wouldn't consider that sponsored work.
No.
Just because, and definitely because it's not a guarantee that you're going to get more viewers just because you have drops on.
Right, yeah.
So.
Well, we're going to go through a couple of different types, so hopefully that'll clear it up. There's a lot of different things that you could consider sponsored. Sometimes I'll say something and be like, oh, well, that's not sponsored. But you just have to disclose whether you're getting paid or not.
Yes.
Or whether you got something for free or not.
Yes. There's a lot of blurred lines in there, and gray areas. But I mean, it makes sense because this is still such a young industry. Being an influencer and a streamer, whatever you're doing, it's very new. It's like the Wild West. People are making up these rules as they go, really. So you got to listen to like the professionals, like the FTC and stuff like that, to look for answers there. And sometimes they don't necessarily know the answer either. No. They're figuring it out too. We're all doing this together. What was that song, Janessa?
We're all in this together.
I don't know what that's from.
We know when they are, we're all stars.
Oh my God. She loves High School Musical. I've never seen it in my life. So. Hi, JB Magic. Hi, Xanatax. Hi, Barry. Hi, Zach. Hi, Fearless. Hi, Omid.
Hi, Omid. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hi,
Zilv.
Zilv. I'm guessing that's how that's pronounced. The English language. Hi, Nightbot. Wow. It's nice of you to show up.
Gosh, Nightbot, you're such a good supporter of the stream. You're always
here. My one viewer all the time is Nightbot. So in this section right here.
Oh God.
No! I didn't even know Nightbot could be timed out.
Rip Nightbot.
That's amazing.
That's all of me.
WTF. Haha.
We don't need commands.
That's so sad. Nightbot, come back. I have the power. Oh, terrifying. We live in Omid's world, people, okay? Watch out.
Oh, you did it again.
Oh,
I think he was trying to fix it.
Timed it out, remove timeout. It's very confusing. I don't know all these rules. It's very crazy. May need to remod Nightbot. Thanks, Omid. So we have some exciting announcements.
We do.
Kind of that happened this week before we get into the meat of the show.
Yeah.
On Monday, we announced something very awesome. I don't know why I'm doing this creepy thing with my hands. I'm going to put my hands down. We announced that TPain has hired OPG to manage his gaming career.
Yes.
The TPain.
The TPain.
Like, I'm on a boat, TPain.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Buy you a drink, TPain.
Yeah, that's a better song than the one I was going to say. I'm in love with the stripper, TPain. I don't know. I love that song. It's very catchy. But the TPain, the one and only TPain, has hired OPG. It's very exciting. I know for me, it's like every time we look at the client list, I'm like, no, TPain. Whoa.
I think it's so cool because like I never liked rap or R&B music, but like I always liked TPain.
Yeah, he's so talented.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people forget that he is so talented, like because auto-tune was such a big thing, which I mean, he like created the industry of auto-tune really.
Right.
Like, it's popular because
and now
of him.
everyone uses it.
Yeah, and I think he got a lot of flack for using it at first, but I mean, everybody uses it now. It's a very popular tool. Either you use it blatantly so everybody knows you're using autotune, or you're trying to hide it, you know?
Yeah.
He's a little on the sly.
And he can sing. Like, you can't just be like, oh, that guy can't sing because he uses autotune.
He's so talented. Like, go listen to, what is it called? There's an NPR thing where they do, like, Tiny Desk. Yeah, they do small music sessions. And his is really, really good. Look it up, TPain Tiny Desk. Amazing. If you don't think he's good at like acoustics, then you're wrong. I'm sorry.
We also have a conspiracy theory in the office that he's the monster
I'm convinced.
in The Masked Singer.
So she got me really into the show called The Masked Singer, and I'm really mad at her because I hate reality television.
I love reality TV.
I'm so
It's
into
like
it.
the only
It's
type
so
of TV
good.
I watch.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't watch shows or dramas.
What?
Yeah, it's just too much commitment. But reality TV, like you can just watch one episode and just be done with it. It's not really a commitment.
I don't know. I've seen people pretty committed to like The Bachelor.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm
I do
pretty
like me
committed to
some
Masked Singer
Bachelor,
right now.
but-
So Twitch is basically a reality television. It's stranger than fiction. Twitch is stranger than fiction.
Did
It's
you
true.
you see that clip today on IRL? Where
Yes.
the guy was in the grocery
The
store.
guy- he was in the grocery
like,
store,
"Can I have a bite of chicken?"
And he got a sub, and so he announces the sub in the grocery store, and the sub was, "This is a robbery." That was the name of the sub. This is a robbery. And then he was like, "Oh."
This is a really helpful tip for streamers in case you don't do this already.
Mm-hmm.
Always, 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 before you think a sub or a cheer or a follow, read the name in your head before you say it out loud. Because you can be banned for saying something. Hopefully they'll take the context into consideration. But like if you say something super bad, like they're gonna clip that and they're gonna put that on the internet.
Yeah, and it can be tough because you're in the moment, you're here, you just want to do it really fast, but try to slow down and read the names in your head a little bit first. Whisper them under your breath or something. Like be
Or
careful.
else you're gonna be in a grocery store. People are gonna think you're doing robbery.
You're doing a robbery.
This is-
This is just a precaution. We're just making sure you're good so that you can get sponsored work. Where is the episode, I guess?
Barry, thank you for the sub.
Doing robbery.
Oh, notifications are working.
Notifications are
Barry, for
working!
the
Yay!
Did we ever announce that Barry's an employee
Yeah.
of OPG? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was I don't know.
I don't
If
think
you
I
don't
was
know,
here.
Barry's an employee of OPG now. Yo!
Woo!
He was already like helping us with a lot of things, but now he's an official
Officials
employee
part of the team.
of online performance work. I work here now. Yes, exactly. All your sub hype emotes, all of them, use them, go crazy. Yay, Barry. Hi, Gecky. That was a lot of words in a string of things. But he wants to focus more on TPain again.
Back to TPain.
He wants to focus more on his like gaming stuff. He does stream. If you haven't checked out his channel, I'm sure somebody
He
will
streamed
drop it
for
over
a
in
while.
chat. He's been streaming,
Yeah.
like I can't remember the exact year he made his account, but it's been a couple years.
Yeah.
Like it's been a while. He's been around. Obviously, it's not like a super set schedule because he's a very busy man who has his music career is his full-time gig, right? But he's a very good streamer. He's very funny, very talented, and I mean he's a nerd at heart. Like he's our
He
boy,
is,
you
yeah.
know. Like,
He's an entertainer, and like it just proves that gaming can cross all types of platforms, all different types of people. So we're really excited to work with him. Cinematic Music Group will still be handling all of his music career, but we are going to be helping out on the gaming
on
side.
the gaming side, yes, exactly. We're not touching the music stuff because that is not our expertise. That is all cinematic. They can they're
Right.
very good at that.
We
so.
got our hands full already.
Yeah. Cool, awesome. He's hung out a few times with offline TV and other streamers. Exactly. Yeah. He goes around, like he definitely visits channels, and he's like he's a member of Twitch. He's a community member.
And
so.
he's been gaming all his life. So he really knows a lot about the gaming scene because he grew up with games just like the rest of us.
We do need to remod Nightbot. Poor Nightbot.
Oh, it's not a mod anymore.
Got unmodded because then we
Oh yeah.
banned it. Poor Nightbot. I'm sorry. Other than that, though, PAX South is next week
PAX South.
already. Oh my gosh, next week.
Yeah,
That's like
it's
no time at all.
next weekend.
Holy
Is
cow.
anybody in the chat going to PAX South?
We
Dun,
did a PAX South badge giveaway, so if any of those winners are in chat, speak up, let us know. Congratulations. It's awesome. I'll be at South. Woo! Hi, Fox Night. Wow.
And Fox Night. Wow.
Nice. This is awesome.
Well, we won't personally be there, but
No.
we are sending some people.
Yeah. I know Omid will be there, so
Yeah.
watch out for him. If you want to make any meetings or anything like that, reach out to us via our website or DMs on Twitter, OP Group, and we'll see what we can work out if we can get some time set up to meet with you. So let us know. And we will still be doing office hours next week because we only have a couple people leaving the office. We will still be able to do office hours. So, like, if you're not going to be at PAC South and you're not checking out anything there, be sure to tune in.
Yeah.
And we'll do another episode that will teach you more.
We need to set like our own.
We need to have like
our
the
own gifts for like when we stream together. Like,
Yeah,
we'll have
it's
the
only
High
us.
School Musical one, and we'll have the Rainbow one.
we
the
need a
more
Hamilton
you
one
know.
for
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
reason. We'll probably bring up Hamilton at some point. So. We're the musical theater nerds of the office, so welcome to our show. No, we've tricked everybody.
Now we need a musical theater client.
Well, I got one in mind, so
Oh, stay tuned.
maybe that'll happen. No,
One thing to note is now that we have TPain, we do have a new genre of client,
exactly.
which is called our non-traditional.
Let me bring up our website.
So
But it's like non-traditional gaming clients, I believe. I could be totally wrong.
I think it might be talent.
Talent.
I might be wrong.
Well, we all might be wrong. It's true.
We're all wrong. That's why we're pulling it up.
Okay.
If you go to our website, opg.tv, and then click on clients, you can see a list of everybody that we work with.
It's not here, is it? Nope.
So we have our clients. We have content producers, which are growing streamers that specialize in a specific thing, and they do really specialized work with like a lot of hours of content. And then we now have this new category called non-traditional content creators.
Yes. As it says on our website, we partner with managers and agents of musicians, actors, traditional athletes, for whom gaming and live streaming is a complementary passion to their main career. So right now it's just TPain, but this section might be growing more in the future because they're definitely, like, if you look around Twitch and you kind of know who's who, you could definitely find more people who are like professional athletes, artists of different sorts, actors, kind of things like that, that they really love gaming and they love streaming, and they're around, and it's not just a hobby, you know.
Right.
It's actually like something that is, like it says here, complementary to their main career. So it's really exciting that people like that are in this space. You know, traditional celebrities, I guess you could say, that, I mean, they love gaming.
It's a super exciting time.
Yeah.
Because as we see gaming become more traditional, more mainstream, then it becomes more opportunities for everybody. And so that's what's really exciting for me.
Rising tides raise all the boats. I think that's like vaguely the phrase there. I don't know. It's a good one, right? Yeah. Really useful since Twitch has so many diverse uses now. Exactly. It's fun, and it's not just Twitch too. You know, Mixer, Facebook, wherever you look that there's a streaming platform, like there is a very diverse group of people everywhere, and it's really exciting to tap into that a little bit. Yay, we did it! All the boats. Jeffree Star Twitch stream?
No.
Yo, that's bringing back like middle school time for me. Oh my god, you saw it? Oh my god.
There better be a highlight of that.
A highlight.
Get it?
Get it?
Get it?
Highlight.
I put on highlight today.
I didn't.
You see the lights reflect off my cheeks. This is my highlight.
Mine is just greasy. I'm kidding. I'm not serious. I put powder on. I'm matte. We're fine.
Wait, I like how this says Fortnite.
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 It's my fork knife is my favorite game. But anyway, to today's show, we're, like we said earlier, we're talking about sponsored work and kind of an introduction to it. As you can see from the topics below, it's very introductory, like sponsorships 101.
101.
This is your college class. Is it Udemy? We're on Udemy right now. You know what Udemy is? This is actually really cool if you don't know what Udemy is.
I think it's a place where you can go and just buy courses to things.
You can take like actual college courses with real professors and things like that, and it's cheaper than actually going to college. But you know, you're not going to get like an official degree,
College,
but you know,
needs it.
who needs it? Whatever. You got a website.
It's a piece of paper that said I did the things.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple of those too.
Yeah, me too. You need it, but you need
You
it,
don't
but
really.
you don't.
That's a whole different subject we're not going to talk about today on Office Hours. So, on our first subject, what is a sponsorship?
Audrey, what is... We both
Got
we
him.
Both deflected.
Got him. No.
Okay, I'll answer.
Okay. Okay.
So when we talk about sponsorships, what we're usually talking about is promotional partnerships between a brand and an influencer. So there's a lot of different types of the way that this could come to be and like different requirements. But at the end of the day, you have an influencer working with a brand.
Yes. So the brand really can be anything. We can be talking about endemic stuff. Is two of my favorite words here. Endemic, which is like stuff
We
that
should
makes
put them up on the.
endemic, non-endemic. No, endemic is like stuff that makes sense in the like context of the field. So like on Twitch, you know, PC games, consoles, PC peripherals, headphones, microphones,
Right.
webcams, keyboards, like things like that. Software, hardware, kind of things that kind of make sense within the gaming world or things like that. And it could be something, you know, if you're a creative streamer and you do painting, maybe, you know,
Right.
things that are endemic to
That's
you.
endemic for you.
Yes, exactly. So like, you know, painting supplies and things like that, that could be endemic for you. And then there are non-endemic things which don't necessarily like make a, you know, direct correlation fit with it, but they still work, you know, in the space. This can be like coffee, energy drinks,
Energy bars.
food, food delivery services. Like there's
Everybody
a
needs
lot of
food.
stuff. It's true. Everybody.
Have you
does
ever
need
met a
food.
human that doesn't need food?
One?
What about that girl that lived off of the air?
Wait, what?
Yeah. There was this girl, she was like, I live off of the air. I don't eat.
That's how you die. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't. If I could just breathe air and then that's it, then I probably wouldn't do it because I love food.
But yeah, if it's not like directly related to the space, we're talking about Twitch today, so we're going to talk about like the video gaming space, then we call it non-endemic.
Non-endemic. Hi, I think your name is Nemo. I'm gonna guess. It has the letters and the numbers, but I'm gonna say Nemo. Hi, Nemo. I found you.
I like missing novice. Who needs a degree when you can tell your interviewer you play video games on the internet?
You know what? It's actually funny. I'm gonna just go off topic for 1 second. If you are applying for jobs in the gaming industry, you should definitely say that in a resume.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes,
100%.
definitely.
You should definitely talk about your passion for games and gaming. And if you're applying for something that's like has a lot to do with streaming and influencers, like say that you like to play games on the internet. Like, it's not like the core of your resume or cover letter, but you should mention that kind of stuff. It's important.
I know that when I applied here, I put like my Twitch and like the community management stuff. I put that stuff at the top.
Yep.
Because it was the most relevant. And then I put like my current job after.
After that, yeah, you had some cool stuff on your resume.
Oh, thanks.
I really liked your resume. I was like, dang, I'm jealous of this. Like, it's really cool. I got a job with a rental car company, and half of the interview was focused on Twitch and streaming. See, and that's non-endemic job, but hey, you know, it works. Like,
I think that one of the biggest things when you go to interviews, this is a totally side thing, is like creating that relationship
yeah.
and, you know, getting to feel comfortable around people. So if you're talking about Twitch and you're having an authentic conversation, then
I am the proponent for believing that interviews should be like a regular conversation. Like that you're having with somebody you're meeting for the first time, you know? Like you're meeting at a party, but it's in an office space potentially. So I don't know. That's what I like. I like people, so.
and that goes to everything. That even goes to like business development and like meeting with your sponsors and stuff. Like,
this is true. You know, I've said this like I think on every episode I've ever been on of Office Hours. I've said this. You never stop interviewing or auditioning. This is something I learned when I did theater. You are always auditioning.
what do they say? The second you enter the room, your audition begins.
But see, like I learned it a different way even of like, even if you're not technically in an audition or an interview.
No, right, yeah.
Just out in the world, interacting with people who may or may not be part of your industry, that's an interview, that's an audition still. Because if you are representing yourself badly outside of a situation that is like, I need to take this seriously because it's an audition or an interview, you're still doing that to somebody and somebody's going to realize that and then tell other people. And the gaming industry is very small.
It's very small. Everybody knows each other. Everybody talks to each other, and everybody's constantly switching companies.
Yes. So, and there's always new companies popping up and things like that. And so it's always good to remember, yes, Priests of War said, well, that's very close. The show is always on. The show is always on. Yes, always.
Hi, Priests of War.
Don't forget that.
I got to meet this person.
Pods of War, Priests of War.
I wonder if you can bless me.
So you can pod out into the world. I don't know what that was.
We just made a new definition for pods.
I don't know what's going on anymore. Is that a really definition? I don't know.
You guys in your pods.
Oh, I made my pod. Okay. Odigos says, not even just gaming, if you stream content from whatever industry to which you're applying, watch me do the thing live and ask questions to test my knowledge while I'm doing it. Seems like an extremely viable and valuable response as per your qualifications. Something that we talk about a lot actually is if you want to work with a brand, you have to at least represent that you like that brand before you can really consider working with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes there's new games and new brands that are popping up that you wouldn't necessarily have a chance to work with. But if you really want to work with like Razer, like, hey, tell people like, hey, I really like Razer products. I use Razer products. I use this. I use that. This is perfect for me. This is why it works. And save like clips from your streams, save tweets and things like that where you're talking about the product. I mean, don't do an overabundance of free work. That's definitely not what I'm recommending because that is free work that you're doing.
Line.
But like at least represent that you like that product because then it will match with your audience. Your audience is used to that, and the sponsor will know, hey, you know, this person is obviously a supporter of us. They like us, and
it's an authentic fit.
Yeah, it makes sense, and that's what really everybody wants is an authentic fit. I shave sometimes. Yeah, Razer. There you go, Xanatex, exactly.
Wow.
I tweeted a picture of me drinking Fairlife, and they tweeted back at me. Did they really?
That's cool.
Wow, that is really cool.
I love
actually.
when that happens.
Yeah, there was I had something like that happen with me, but I can't remember what it was. Rip, never mind.
Well,
I like the brand, so.
Walmart tweeted Ava with her holiday sweater.
That was the best holiday sweater I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. That was such a good sweater.
Was
They
there a cat on it?
they tweeted her a poem.
Wow.
A poem.
A poem.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about times where I interacted with brands.
One time I tweeted about 7-Eleven not having iced coffee, and then they tweeted and they're like, "What store?" I'm like, no, I'm not fibbing on my store. I just want to know, like, is it supposed to be here? Like, I don't want to rat out my store. I like those guys.
They're trying to get you to be a snitch.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to do that.
Wendy's tweeted Broman?
Yes, so Wendy's last week, they tweeted out a thing where they're like, hey, we'll roast you. So everybody was tweeting back at them like, roast me, daddy. Like, well, that was weird. But, you know, at least one person said that because that is the thing that people say. Oh, don't clip that. No,
send it to Broman and make him be a soundbite in his stream.
I'm already a meme in that stream. Please, no more. Damn it. So they tweeted back because Broman was like, roast me. And they tweeted back and they said, a pretty generic roast about him being bald. And so then he slacked back and was like, you know, I know you don't use preservatives and stuff in your meats, but I thought you'd have, you know, like fresh content or something like that. It was like, oh, it was pretty spicy. Like,
that's good.
Y'all need to check it out. Is that the boss I see?
Hi, yes. Mr. Fabulous.
Oh man, hi.
That's so funny. I do tweet Taco Bell a lot because I just love Taco Bell, and I always have. I love Taco Bell, and I also I think that their social media team is amazing. But they used to have like a taco emoji generator, to where like every time that you tweeted them, you would get like an instant response with like a custom like emoji image.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe they felt that wasn't
crazy.
Personal enough.
No, I think that like they ran it for like 3 years, and I think it was just like running out of like whatever it takes.
Whatever tacos
to,
they could generate.
Yeah, and then for them, that's got to take like a lot of work and server stuff in order for it to run that for everybody that's
for such
tweeting
a long time.
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's a lot of people tweeting Taco Bell, I'm sure. But all of this, it actually does pertain to what is a sponsorship. It's anything that a brand, any brand might be. giving you compensation for. We broke the taco bot. It's so
You
sad.
live in SoCal and I blank Taco Bell. Dead to me.
So, okay, I have a
Let's be
defense against
clear.
this for a second. Taco Bell is not Mexican food.
No,
and we
Taco
were
Bell
clear
is
that
American food.
yes, we were clear that Taco Bell is not Mexican food, and there is actual Mexican food out there. It's like you're not in the mood for Mexican food and go to Taco Bell. I go to like Vallarta or Colima's or something like that because they actually have really good food. If you're from San Diego, go to Colima's. But like if I want Taco Bell, I'm in a mood for like Taco Bell. It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trash American junk food.
Exactly. It's just not the same.
We
It's
should
not
know
the same.
because here at OPG we have a burrito task force.
Yes, we do.
We do, and everybody wants to be in it.
This is not a joke. We
talked about this
We
earlier
talked
this
about
week.
this week about forming a burrito task force, so that way all of our clients know about like the best California burritos, because we had a client go to San Jose who was like raving about the burritos, and we tried the burritos and they were god awful. And so like we need to make sure that everybody's properly educated on the California burrito.
Omid makes a good point. Burrito Task Force has generated pretty poor results so far, but this came up. Another reason this came up is because we have an employee who just moved to San Diego, and he moved his family here to San Diego, and they wanted to know the best place to go get tacos and burritos. And a place was suggested to him, and they went there, and they had a delicious dinner.
Yeah.
So
we need to
Burrito Task Force is working.
Yeah.
It's working.
It's working.
But we don't have enough burritos here in the office. I agree on that. I need
Zach,
burritos immediately.
I do like the 805 South burritos. It's like a mix. It's that's from the place MJ's Yogurt Time, I think, which is not a yogurt place.
What the?
There's yogurt inside, but it's not a yogurt place. It is like a Filipino fusion food, and so it's a burrito that has lumpia in it.
Oh, that's the one he's been talking about all week.
It's good.
Yeah, that looks really good. Anyway, this is like totally off topic.
We're so not talking about sponsorship.
I'm so confused. Will we bring the burrito task force? The taco task force is different. Will we bring the burrito task force to PAC South? There's got to be a lot of really good places to get burritos in San Antonio.
Yeah, I would
think?
imagine a little bit more like Tex-Mex, but
Which is different than
it's different, but still good, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Texas is still connected to Mexico.
We'll do some research into the best places to get burritos in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll know.
Elementary school might make you think that Texas is just floating there, but it's connected to something. For a while, I didn't realize it was connected to Mexico.
Hold on, wait a second. Wait. Hold
As a child, it's at elementary school. It's at elementary school.
All right, we'll move past that one. That's fine. I'll let you go with that one. Whoa.
Anyway,
we'll unpack that
affiliate
later
program.
off stream. And a breakfast burrito in San Diego at TwitchCon. Veggie burrito, except they put extra ham on it. What? See, I will say San Diego is fantastic for Mexican food, but there are so many Mexican food places, and the bad ones want to make you think that they're
good.
fine and good. But I've had several bad experiences at places here in San Diego.
Have you ever been to Pokey's?
No.
It's downtown, and it's a vegetarian Mexican place.
Okay.
And their burritos are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
I'm gonna
not a
try that.
vegetarian. I'm a carnivore, like in my heart, but like, oh God.
Odds of war show, everybody. Yeah.
We just talk about burritos.
We're not talking
all
about
show.
actual anything. But maybe you get sponsored
By burritos.
by a burrito place.
Okay, Taco Bell works a lot with the gaming scene.
They actually do. We have had at least one client do work with Taco Bell.
And when I went to my first TwitchCon, they sponsored the indie section
That's
of
really
TwitchCon.
cool.
And Jake Roper was there. And I have had a crush on him for years.
Of course.
So it was my first TwitchCon, and I had no idea who was there. And then all of a sudden he was in front of me, and I said hi, and it was very awkward, and I left, and I got in a beanbag, and I cried.
You got inside the beanbag?
You go
That's
in-
incredible.
on the beanbag.
I'm so mean. I'm sorry. Hi, it's Litany. Hello, welcome. We're talking about burritos and stuff. But no, Taco Bell would be a non-endemic brand that works in the streaming space.
Perfect. See, this is where this conversation
it all leads back somewhere. We can go full circle. I can do this all day.
It's not directly related to gaming and Twitch, but they're working in this industry,
Exactly.
and so we consider them non-endemic.
Exactly. You know what's funny is we have a little runner show here that I have on my laptop I'm looking at. I didn't even notice it had these endemic and non-endemic things. I just brought that up.
Oh, that's just how good you are.
No. But influencers, I hate this word, but I'm going to say it, they provide exposure for games and products to a wider audience. When we're providing exposure to a brand, that's good. We want to provide exposure to a brand. When it's brands providing exposure to an influencer, that's different. That's not, no. I mean, yes, of course, some brands will provide exposure to influencers, like maybe large brands or hiring an influencer who isn't as large as that brand or something, so more people learn about that influencer. But for the most part, influencers are doing the work for the brand. They are putting their name out there. They're putting their stamp of approval on that brand, saying, yes, I trust these people. I like these people. I like this product. I like this brand. Check it out. They're doing that for them. And so influencers are definitely providing that exposure for the brand to their audience. And that's why, like, you know, partnering and being sponsored by brands that you like is the best way to go, because then it's a natural fit.
Right.
Yeah.
And the brand is coming to you because they are the ones that need the exposure. It's very rare to have it the other way around, to where, you know, they have something big enough to where you're going to get a lot of exposure. And if you were, like, let's say they're like, oh, we're going to put you on TV and you're going to host this program, then they have enough budget to pay you.
Yes, absolutely.
So.
They're running a TV show, so.
So
499,750 more followers and other growth before I drop you all a message. Hey, yes, nice. Do it, it's Litany. Let's go.
We believe in you.
It's your challenge for 2019. I believe. That's my challenge for 2019 is become an affiliate.
Yeah, you got it. You have the follows, don't you?
Yes, I have the followers. Is the only.
So you
thing
just
I
have to do the streams.
Yes, exactly.
And if you do the streams, affiliate will come.
I'm gonna do it, guys. I'm gonna become affiliate. I just want all I want is an emote of like my face. Somewhere.
Oh right.
Yeah, I want an emote of my face. So I can just go around and use it on everything.
Are we? This is where we're transitioning
yeah, let's do it.
to.
Yeah, we did it. Okay, it won't show up there, but we did it, so that's fine. So types of sponsorships. I mean, we talked a little bit. We talked a lot about like the non-endemic and endemic stuff, all that kind of things. But there are a number of different types of actual sponsorships, not just brands that you can work with. I think everybody has seen examples of these. There's like, you know, generic kind of things where it's like you play a game for 2 hours and you do a tweet or something like that. There's larger campaigns. It's like you have a monthly sponsorship with this brand where you're tweeting about them, you're promoting them on your stream, you're doing a sponsored stream maybe throughout the month, you're making videos, whatever kind of is involved there. But everything that is sponsored, you know, you're agreeing on those obligations ahead of time. Like those things are in a contract, they're written down, you're signing your name to that. And that's what you're agreeing to do for whatever exchange it is.
Right.
Monetarily, or maybe you're getting, you know, in-game currency or something like that, or product. All those things are
basically
sponsorships.
anything that has monetary value.
Yes.
Would be considered a sponsorship, even if you don't feel like you're getting directly paid for it. So if a company is giving you a game for free to play on your stream, that could be considered something like a sponsorship in the FTC's eyes. You still have to tell your audience that you got that for free.
Yeah, no matter what it is, like you have to disclose. This is very important. You have to make sure you're telling everybody, like, you know, I was given this for free. I was given this game for free. I was like sponsored to put this in my title, whatever thing like that. But that doesn't mean that you are being paid to give your like altered opinion about something. You're still like, you want to be truthful with yourself and your audience. If you're being paid to play a game that you, for some reason, are not enjoying, maybe it's not working correctly, maybe it's just not your type of thing, you thought it would be, but maybe it's not. You know, there's ways to say that without being terrible, right? You know, you're like, I hate this game, I'm done, right? Not that kind of thing, but maybe it's just like, this isn't really the game for me, but I could definitely see the attraction to it, and this is how you guys can get it if you want to, you know, check it out, kind of thing like that.
Right.
But you still have to be honest, because that's an ethical issue right there, is like, you know, I think a lot of people think, oh, they're sponsored to play this, so they're going to say they like it. No. Especially not our clients. Our clients are very, very clear about that kind of stuff. So,
It's Litany says, so in areas like Twitter promotion, for example, is hashtag ad enough to clarify, or is more work needed? Hashtag ad definitely is enough. If you go to the FTC's website, they have some basic guidelines. Another way to do it is be like, you know, thank you so-and-so for sponsoring me.
Thanks to my sponsor. You could do hashtag sponsored if you want, or I think SpawnCon is like the new thing. And then just being clear, because saying things like, I have a partnership with this company, I think
super vague.
It's really vague. I think technically it's allowable, but to me, I don't really find it good or that acceptable, because it's not very clear to your audience. And that's really the goal, is to be clear to your audience, to be truthful.
Yeah, you have to be transparent, because like you want to know whether, like, I mean, ideally, right, you would only work with something that you feel comfortable working with, and like suggest these things to your audience if it's a good fit for you. But not every influencer is like that. We know that, like, with our clients, we definitely do that with our clients. But you know, it's only fair to your audience that it's disclosed that you're getting money or you're getting something for free, and that's why you're doing this.
Right.
And then there's other times where, like, people just tweet things for free and they just like it, and that doesn't have to be disclosed.
Yeah. Like, you may not be actually monetarily gaining anything from something. You're just like, I really like this product.
Yeah.
And they didn't give
That's
it
what
to
they do.
you.
Hashtag
Like,
not sponsored.
yeah, hashtag not an
Not
ad. Yeah. Like, my concern is that something as small as hashtag ad is something that is missable when skimming through social media. I mean, it could be, but that's not the fault of the person posting the tweet, right?
Right.
So if you're tweeting that and you put hashtag ad, if somebody else missed it, then somebody else missed it, right? You put it in there, you covered your own base, you made that very clear. But, you know, if you felt uncomfortable with just those 3 characters and you wanted to add more,
you could always do more to protect yourself.
Yeah. I've seen people put like hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored content. Like, I've seen them put all of those on something. I don't necessarily think you need to do that. I mean, you definitely don't legally need to do that, but if you feel more comfortable, go for it.
We got something from Xanatax. I'm amazed how many times the streamer adding the game devs, thanks, I'm going live to play your game now, has resulted in devs showing up in the stream. Which is fire.
Yes.
Well, game devs usually like people playing their games. So I would say that that's a good strategy, as long as you're not adding streamers, because that
gets a little weird.
Yeah.
Like,
but
if you're playing with somebody, then that's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's not much use in adding like Bungie or Ubisoft or somebody huge, you know. But if you're playing like an indie game or like a brand new game that doesn't have a lot of traction, like they would love to know that, and they would sometimes I don't do it publicly, but I'll message them and just be like, hey, loved your game. Here's a clip. Thanks for doing good work.
See, and that just adds to, like, it's a small amount of free work that you did, but it adds to, like, they're gonna notice that later. If they're looking for sponsored stuff to do and they were looking for people who enjoy playing their game, they can go back and look at, oh yeah, this person really liked playing our game. Look at this clip. This is fantastic. We could go to them. We know that they're gonna be a good fit.
Right.
Like, you're already in their heads. You've stepped through that door already. So, I know in the past when I have streamed on rare occasion, I have added like the Twitter account for the game that I'm about to play, and occasionally you'll get like fan groups for that game or the game account themselves. They'll like retweet it,
Retweet you,
or something like that. So it's like they're putting it out to their audience like, hey, this person is streaming this game if you want to check it out, which is fantastic because then hopefully you'll get some more people that tune in to check it out. Yeah, check it out, check it out, check it out.
What was the term used with working with companies that are not in the game industry?
Non-endemic. It's so there's endemic and then there's just non.
Yeah.
But
The opposite of that.
The opposite of endemic. Yeah.
So for one thing we haven't touched on yet, the type of sponsorship that you guys probably see, especially as you're first starting to grow as a streamer, would be affiliate programs. This is oftentimes the first type of sponsorship that's available to influencers, and it's basically you have a product. It's usually non-endemic for affiliate programs.
Like MeUndies.
Right.
That's a big one. They do a lot of affiliate work. Yeah, usually non-endemic kind of stuff.
You'll see, what have I seen a lot of affiliate programs? Quip.
Yep.
Does a lot of things on Twitch. And that's
Humble Bundle.
Humble Bundle's kind of
that rides the line a little bit. I kind of consider it endemic because it has a lot to do with games. And usually their sponsorship stuff, affiliate or whatever, is about playing the games.
Right. And like I think what he's saying is that there's anybody can be a Humble Bundle affiliate, and you get a link. But that's a good point. So what that means is that you have a link, usually some type of tracking link or a code, where when people are purchasing the product, you get a percentage of it back. And there's also some sorts of limits sometimes.
Phone's blowing up.
My phone is blowing. My family.
Like, did you see her on the Twitch? No, I'm just kidding.
No, they're talking about Universal Studios.
Of course they are.
But so like one thing is like Amazon affiliates. So if you notice anybody that has that panel at the bottom of their stream that has all their gear that they use on Twitch, they are going to get a small cut of anything that you buy off that list, and then once all those like tiny cents, because it's not a lot, Amazon is kind of shysty. Once it hits a $10 limit, then they're able to get like a gift card.
Yeah. I mean, this is how a lot of affiliate programs work, and so it's not a guarantee that you're going to receive anything back. There are some affiliate programs for games and things like that. It's like a partner program, they call it a lot of times. But it can be something where, you have your link up, and depending on how many people click through the link and then buy the game, you could get a percentage of the game sales from that. I've seen those range from like 2% to like 15%. It's a pretty wide range, and you just have to decide for yourself whether that's something that you want to put the work into, because most of the time they will ask you to do specific obligations to kind of advertise the link you have or the code you have for the product. So they will want you to do stuff almost always. And the biggest tip I have for affiliate programs is don't just sign up for them willy-nilly. Try whatever product it is first. Check out the product. Make sure you like it. Make sure it's something that you're actually going to use. I especially mean this for anything that's like a drink affiliate program. Like, actually make sure it's something you like first, because if you're going to be doing this work that is not necessarily guaranteed income for you, at least make it worth your time.
Right. Like if I got a coffee sponsorship, I drink coffee every single day. That would be really good. I often drink coffee on stream because I stream late at night and I want to stay up. It would not be a good fit for somebody that doesn't like coffee.
Exactly. Yeah. If you prefer to drink water, then yeah.
Even I see a lot of streamers trying to be like, okay, well maybe I don't like coffee, so but my audience likes coffee, so maybe it'll be a good fit. Like I don't think that you need to make that stretch. You should know whether it fits for you or not.
And just if you use products that you like, then you're going to end up using them more on your stream, and your audience will notice that, and it becomes much easier to advertise something like that. Heinz has nothing on my subscription. 57 months. Jeez. Oh my God. Amazing.
Druid's Fire, thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate it. Just so you guys know, all subs and bits to this channel do fund giveaways for smaller streamers, growing streamers.
Growing streamers,
we will literally like have terms and conditions that say like you have to be a streamer on Twitch and you have to be under this sort of average concern viewers or anything.
So that we're making sure it's going to the people who will use it and nourish it as much as
And
possible.
57 months is a long time.
57 months is crazy.
I can't even do that math.
That's an amount of years. It's over 5, right?
All I know is that 60 inches is 5 feet. So it's close to 60. So it's almost 5 years,
Almost 5 years.
right? Because
That's
12 inches is the same as 12 months. That's weird how I did that, but
Math.
it's similar,
Math
right?
on stream. Never do math on stream. Never do math on stream. We better make some loyalty badges. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Oh, Adriana.
Well, I'm on it.
She's on it. Hi, Lula. Hi. Welcome.
Lula, I love Lacroix.
1 year equals
Audrey
1 foot.
hates Lacroix.
I don't hate Lacroix.
That's
I
what
like.
the sub badges should be.
LaCroix?
Yeah, LaCroix labels.
That's a good idea.
Perfect.
I like 2 flavors of Lacroix. Like pamplemousse,
Pamplemousse.
the grapefruit one, is
Yeah.
okay. Coconut is all right. And that's how
Ooh.
I feel about them. Every other one I hate.
1 year is 1 foot confirmed.
Yep. Sounds like we need a 5-year party at PAX.
Yeah, you can give Lula all the rest of the LaCroix flavors.
Yeah. Just
I
take
like
all my LaCroix.
I like them all.
Nope.
Lacroix, oh my gosh, Radagast.
Lacroix. Did somebody want to get sponsored by Crocs?
Oh, by LaCroix?
Lacroix, yeah. I love it.
I don't want to wear them.
Excuse my cough. Lacroix for way too long.
Okay,
Yeah, that would be
so
fun.
we talked about affiliate programs. We talked about promoted content, which was like sponsored streams, short-term activations. There's also another one which is called ongoing or long-term sponsorships.
It seems pretty obvious. It's, things that you're doing for more than just a short activation.
Yeah.
Like if you
I
have
would
a
say, like,
monthly
more than a
sponsor,
month.
yeah, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, a year, whatever your contract terms are. And that's something that's going to be more ingrained in your channel. That's going to be something that your audience definitely knows about. They're like, oh yes, you are sponsored by Corsair, say it like that. It's like, this is your brand is associated with that brand very heavily. And so it's a natural integration. It feels good. That's how it should be. If it's not actually natural integration, like, it shouldn't be something that you're doing
It
long term.
shouldn't be, your long-term. Radagast, thank you for subbing with Twitch Prime.
Yay! Did you guys know about Twitch Prime? Have you heard about Twitch Prime? Just in case you don't know about Twitch Prime, if you have Amazon Prime, you can connect your Amazon and your Twitch accounts, and then you get a free sub every month to use on any channel that you can sub to on Twitch.
Free emotes.
Free emotes for you. And my hot tip of the day. Sometimes,
hot tip.
this is my hot tip of the day. If you have Twitch Prime, sometimes Twitch, the Twitch channel or the Twitch Presents channel, wherever they're doing marathons of shows, sometimes they will have emotes that if you sub one time in that channel, you get those emotes forever.
Oh, yeah.
So like they did that with Power Rangers, they've done it with Pokemon. So watch out for those. If that ever happens, I recommend using your Twitch Prime on
remember
those channels, getting those emotes forever, and then you can pick up your Twitch Prime, bring it somewhere else, drop it, sprinkle it, give it to people. It's great. I have Power Rangers emotes that I never use, but see the Pikachu. Yeah, the Pikachu is right there. I missed that one. I'm really sad about it. Like this one. This is a channel. This is a channel. I don't know why that was so aggressive.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That explains why I have a ton of emotes. Sometimes I look at my emote list and I'm like, where did this come from? It's because I've been gifted subs in channels that I wasn't aware
realize.
that I was gifted the sub, and I'm like, oh, how do I have this person's emotes now? What happened?
You know what's super weird? This happened to me. I have my, the Twitch Prime section of emotes, and I got gifted Ava's emotes, and they're in the same section. It's very strange.
Interesting.
We should probably look into that. Like, why?
I think that's a problem.
It doesn't say Ava GG and then all her emotes. It's just in the Twitch Prime. It's so weird.
Maybe she just has her emotes, just Twitch Global emotes now.
Twitch
It's just
Global.
Ava emotes. That's a thing. Oh, interesting. What are your views on sponsorships through third-party agencies, which require a lot of in-depth information just to sign up with the agency and farm it out to brands on your behalf? So you're talking more about like sponsor marketplaces, perhaps, is kind of what I'm picking up there.
Like
If I'm
those
wrong.
platforms.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a website that you sign up on to put your name out there for different sponsorships, and then you can go on the website occasionally. Some of them work differently, but sometimes you can go on the website and kind of see a board of different sponsored work that is available to you and pick what you want to do. And then you'll be given the additional information you need to do that sponsored work. The bounty board is kind of similar to this. The Twitch has the bounty board that partners can use. It's yes, something similar to the Twitch bounty board, exactly. And so those, like, I don't really think there's anything wrong with those. The only problems there's a couple problems that can occur with those. If you do a stream with one of those services from whatever sponsorship they have, you may be doing stuff that you're not, like, you don't necessarily know if the sponsor wants that or not. It may be something that this platform came up with, or maybe they're missing information and there's talking points that you're going to miss or different disclosures that you're not going to say that the sponsorship wanted or the sponsor wanted, but they didn't get the chance to communicate that. And so then if the sponsor sees your stream, they're not going to think about how maybe it wasn't communicated right to you. They're just going to think you did it wrong. That's one thing that can happen. It's kind of a danger area. And then another thing is you likely won't be getting your fair rate for something like that.
Right.
It's just not always true, but a lot of the times the rates on there are pretty generic across the board for, like, you know, people from this size to this size, and then there's another tier of this size to this size kind of thing. And so you may be on the high end of one tier and you haven't quite moved into the other one, and so you're getting a rate that's much lower than what you should be getting, since it's such a wide range. And that's kind of like my visual representation of that. It doesn't exactly work like that, but you probably won't be getting your fair rate on a thing like that. So you got to be aware of those kind of things. It doesn't have that personal touch.
Thank you for the host.
Hi, Burke. Thank you for the host so much.
Very kind of you.
We love it. We're trying to educate everybody's
Welcome
audiences.
to Office Hours. We're talking about sponsorships. So yeah, I have basically the same opinions as Audrey. One thing that I think, oh, there it is.
There it is. It showed up eventually.
It showed up over here, but.
And now JB Magic is also hosting.
JB Magic, thank you for the host.
You.
One thing that's really missing when you're working on a marketplace like that is that you're not creating a personal relationship with the brand itself. And so it's like, if you really like that brand, you know, they don't really know much about you. Okay.
Shouldn't have showed you that. I'm the worst person. But exactly, they don't
get to meet you. They don't get to work with you. Like, things aren't negotiable, right? So if they want you to do a Twitter post and then you're just like, hey, I think if you have an idea, like, well, can I do an Instagram story instead? Like, I feel like this will play off a lot better. I have more followers on Instagram than on Twitter.
This content will be better here.
Right.
Kind of thing, yeah.
If you were working directly with the brand, then they could be like yes or no, and they might like that you're thinking about how to make an authentic fit of things. But if you're just on an influencer, it's kind of like you just go to McDonald's and then you order.
Yes.
And you just get it, and you can't argue about it. Like, that's what it is.
And another thing is, like, the reporting from your stream. Reporting is very important. And this is something really good to know if you're working for yourself, doing your own sponsored stuff.
And I think we'll get into that in deliverables. Maybe.
We will.
Yeah.
But like that reporting may not be sent over to the sponsor. They may not get the sufficient stuff that they need to make a decision about whether to work with you again.
And then the sponsor might be like, oh, that Audrey Rar, she didn't do a very good sponsored stream with us.
It's okay, everybody tells me that. I understand.
Okay. Ooh.
JB Magic, I want to get to this one first.
Yeah.
When working with non-endemic brands, do you find that there's a lot of educating brands on the platform and making a switch to partnering with influencers as opposed to traditional forms of media? Absolutely. This is actually a big thing that we do, is educating brands, non-endemic and endemic, actually. So sorry, I hate you.
No, you're
so
fine.
both. But educating brands in general and people about, you know, the benefits of working with influencers, influencer marketing, streaming platforms in general, not just Twitch, but like Mixer and Facebook, all of them. And kind of like just telling them that this is a good place to work and that we can help them and kind of guide where they need to go and fit perfectly with what they want to do. And it's tough, but that's a lot of what we do is that education. So it happens a lot. Sometimes brands super duper know. They're like,
You're right.
they know about it already. They have a person that works in their office that's like the Twitch person, and they've kind of manned this whole thing. They know everything about it. A lot of the times we see people who definitely have a lot of education about the field. They know everything about it, but they have to educate their superiors who are providing a budget.
Right.
That happens a lot. So.
And I think that's why when you're working with a brand, like we know how to do it on our side, but if you guys are trying to like create like we've talked about fact sheets or just little informational sheets about
Blurs
you.
about yourself. Mm-hmm.
We try to make it very clear like the value that we're going to be giving to the brand, and then they can ask questions from there, because there's a lot of times where like, oh yeah, we want to work with you, we want to partner with you, sponsor you, but they don't know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get into that when we go to sponsorship deliverable, but there's a lot of times where we have to tell the brand, this is what we're going to give you. If we just ask them and be like, oh yeah, what do you want for sponsorship, like they don't know.
It's like a different language, basically. That's how you kind of have to consider that. Like, presenting examples of past campaigns, of things that we've done before, things that clients have done in the past. It helps a lot in that education of just proving, like, this is the thing that people do. We're not just making this up, and these are the reasons why these numbers are behind it, kind of thing. So,
and sometimes they're like, oh no, we're not going to do that. And then they come back like a month later when they realize that is the industry standard, and then they come back and be like, okay, we were wrong.
Yeah, yeah. And that happens too, and that's totally fine. Like, you know, I'm happy to sit here for hours and help teach people what the platform is about, what streaming is about, what working with influencers is all about. It's honestly one of my favorite things to do, which is, I mean, reason why I love my job so much. So it's a good thing that I'm here because I'm ready to do it. Is Litany asked a big question, and I know that Omid said DM that to me on Twitter. Yes. So I feel like Omid's definitely going to help you with that, because I read over it briefly, and I think Omid is the person you want to talk to for that. It's a lot to digest.
What I would say is just like if you are gonna work with like a marketplace or something to where like there's a third party, just know that they are gonna take a cut of that money. So if you want to reach out and work with a brand directly, that's always an option for you. Like you can message them and they'll say either yes or no. But there are, you know, there's nothing wrong with somebody taking a cut.
No, I mean, they're doing additional work as well, right? But it just comes to a point where it's like you have to make sure that you're also getting your fair rate.
Right.
For the things that you're doing.
If they're screwing you over and not telling you, if they're getting more money than you and you're getting nothing, then that's
and like Omid said, and they will not tell you how much they're taking. That happens a lot in this industry. That's something that we don't do, is we're very transparent with our clients and the sponsors that we're working with about anything like that. Like, you know, if we're getting anything additional, which doesn't usually happen, but if that's happening, we tell clients. Like, it's about being transparent like that, because there's a lot of trust in this industry. And if you don't trust the people you're working with, it's very hard to work with them. And I think that's true for any industry, but especially gaming, because it's the Wild West.
Right.
So I know you said that getting sponsorships doesn't mean you have to be disingenuous, but do you think that giving a company's product a bad review in a sponsored thing might harm your chances of working with them in the future? I feel that's also part of the reason people assume content creators aren't being truthful with their opinions. So I touched on this a little bit earlier, Missing Novice, but there are ways to give a bad review of something that you got paid to play or paid to promote without being like bashy, right? There are ways to, like, if I'm playing a game, if a content creator is playing a game and they're sponsored to play it and they're not very much enjoying it, like they thought they would enjoy it, but maybe it's just not their cup of tea, they find out while they're doing the sponsored work, there's a way of being like, you know, hey, this isn't so much for me. Maybe there's something that's wrong with the game. They're like, I don't think it's quite in the place yet where it needs to be, but you know, I can see where this could be really fun for some people.
Yeah.
Really good fit.
It's not personally my type of
exactly.
game, but it could be yours.
Like my personal opinion doesn't affect how you might enjoy this game or this product. And this, it's just a way of saying that instead of being like it's Litany says, like, God, this sucks, they're bad.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I think the word for that is disparagement.
Yes.
You don't want to disparage the game or the brand. Like, you can't just.
And a lot of times
you can't just shit on them.
And a lot of times you literally can't because it's in your contract to not disparage them. A lot of contracts will have something about disparagement in it that goes both ways. So you contractually cannot disparage the game by just taking a big poop on it. And then they, on the other hand, can't then come back and be like, this person sucked, I hated them because they hated our game, and that's, you know, that's disparagement of you. So it goes both ways. There are definitely respectable ways to give a bad review on a title that you didn't enjoy or a product.
Right.
And then it's genuine to your audience. They know, like, I mean, I've definitely watched sponsored streams before where I could tell the influencer wasn't very much enjoying it. It's not their kind of game. It seems like a good fit, but it's really not. But there's been people in the audience, including me, where I'm like, I want to play this game though. Like, this seems like my kind of game. I want to really check out. So I'll check it out, but I can just tell it's not really for them. That happens a lot, especially because you think it's going to be something that you're going to enjoy. So it happens.
Gaz, whatever you did, thank you.
I think it's a host, but it doesn't show up in chat.
It didn't show up in
chat. Maybe it's a follow? No, we don't do that.
Omid says disparagement is different than criticism.
Yes.
Disparagement is saying this game is garbage and was clearly made by monkeys.
What game are you talking about?
I thought you were going to join me on the monkeys since you joined me on the garbage, but
sorry.
I didn't have.
I was still reading it when you ran ahead of me. I can't read that fast now.
Read the events list. We don't have an events list here. We just have the chat.
Yeah, that computer's over there.
Yeah,
this is a different computer.
The OBS, everything's over there.
We have like 15
Barry,
PCs
you've been here before. So one thing, we had a question from Direly Die Often. Great name, by the way.
Ooh, I like that.
What is the balance of business sense and being honest with your community? So what I would say, to piggyback off of Audrey, is like, we always edit our contracts to say that our clients are giving factual talking points. They're not paid to give a positive opinion or a negative opinion, though I don't know what someone would pay for a negative opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe drama.
Drama, let's go.
But you're paid for factual things. So something like, you're not paid for, I really love this game, you should go buy it. You're paid for, this game is available in the Discord store and it comes out in a week.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, like, factual things about the game. This game is utilizing the Unreal Engine 4 for these graphics.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and there's a way to make factual talking points exciting. It's not going to be, like, boring, but they're facts. They're not like, this game is better than its competitors. Like, if you actually think that, go ahead and say it.
Right.
But you should not be contracted to say something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking
of genuine to
their audience, what's your opinion on, like, very ironic sponsored ads? So I've seen some things like this, like ironic sponsored things. I think if it's something that's agreed upon by the sponsor and the influencer doing the work, I think that's fine. But I do not think that people should take sponsored work going in knowing that they're going to be sarcastic about it,
right?
Make fun of it, be ironic, like, because that's going to be very clear to their audience, and I would consider that like a form of disparagement. Like, that's not great.
Right.
But it's a fine line.
If the sponsor isn't happy, they might not pay you.
Yeah.
Which
which is not great, and you might get into a big argument about that.
It's
which is
not
fun.
great, but if your contract says something like you're not supposed to disparage, and they can argue that you did that, then they might just not pay you.
Mm-hmm. It's a fine line to walk, but really, I mean, in my opinion, there's no reason you should take a sponsorship for something you don't like.
No.
Right? Like, if it's not something you enjoy, if it's not something that you don't think is in a good place, or something that you aren't 100%, like if it's something new you've never tried, but it's like not something at all in your wheelhouse, then why bother doing that additional work and potentially doing something you wouldn't enjoy?
Right.
So a lot of my advice is just like, do what you like.
This is why you're not an affiliate, Audrey.
Because I like to play games and not talk to anybody, so rip me. This is why I'm not an affiliate.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're totally right, though. What about something like, I don't know how they thought it was a good idea about a mechanic design choice?
That seems good to me.
That's fine.
Seems
Like,
fine.
I've seen that several times. Like, if you're playing a game, you're like, I'm not really sure why they made this choice. That's fine. You're not looking at that and being like, this is the stupidest decision they could have ever made, and I hate these people. Like, that's a different thing, right? But just being like, I don't really think this is a good option.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think you have to, like,
only idiots would make
you
this
don't
choice.
have to be like walk on eggshells and worry like about every single thing that you say. I think you need to be your authentic self. When they signed up with you, they took into account your personality.
Absolutely.
So, like, if they want some sort of Disney person that never cusses and, like, only says pretty princess things, then, like, they would pick that person, right?
Those people exist. They are out there.
They do.
They are out there.
Like, there are some people that have, like, a very clean image, but, like, they're not going to pick the most sarcastic person on the internet and then be upset.
Well, and then, that's taking into consideration that you hope that they are paying attention to your channel and they do know what kind of content creator you are. And that doesn't always happen, especially if you are working through an agency or a marketplace. Something where you're not in direct contact with the sponsor, which happens very, very often. A lot of sponsors, a lot of game devs or brands will hire an agency or PR or something like that to take care of booking sponsored work. And so you may never have actual contact with them. So just, imagine that you're talking directly to them and you don't want them to spit in your face. Basically, like, there's creative ways to say that you don't like something. I can't remember the words for it now. Oliver would know. I can't remember what it's called.
Criticism?
Creative criticism? Is that what I'm looking for?
Dunno.
I don't know. That's probably it.
Can't read
It's
your
a Friday.
brains.
You can't read my brains?
Emotes.
Hi, Crave the Babe.
Hi, Crave. I don't think this is a good mechanic. That's criticism. Some companies will get upset about that kind of thing, but they don't have any legal standing to get upset.
Exactly. They can't then come back and be like, we're not going to pay you because you said that this mechanic is bad.
Right.
They definitely can do that, but they don't have any legal standing.
Yeah. Like you
they
could
still have
take
to
them
pay
to
you.
court to get your payment, right?
Yeah.
You can do debt collection, which
We
is
do.
a service on opg.tv.
If you go to www.opg.tv, you will find a tab at the top that says debt collection. If you or your loved ones have been affected, I can't even finish this sentence. If you or your loved ones have been affected by a company not paying you when you've done the work and you did it properly, then please fill out our form for debt collection. We will investigate it. Please add any evidence you have of you actually doing the work and that you have not gotten paid for it, and any contracts you have. All of that evidence will help us kind of chase that down for you and hopefully get you paid. Yay!
We're bounty hunters.
Josh is a
Essentially.
bounty hunter. Our corporate accountant, Joshua, as I call him, Joshua. He has a machete in his office. Like,
What?
he's ready to go. That's a lie. It's not even true. It's not even a little bit true.
Machete.
I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry. Now I need to get Josh a machete. I gotta do it now. What is even happening anymore? Machete.
Okay, we got
Is
a
it
couple
possible to put a
questions.
clause in your contract with the sponsor for a game that if you play the game and don't enjoy it, you can stop early and either get partial payment or no payment? That is definitely possible to put a clause like that in your contracts. I am not sure if people would take it or not, but you could try to negotiate something like that in there, or at least give them the awareness that that might happen. Things like that have happened before, and if you really, really are like dying and not enjoying the product that you're promoting at all, and it's the middle of the sponsored stream, so you're like, it's a 2-hour sponsored stream and you're an hour through and you're like, I just need this to be over. There are creative ways to end things like that if you really, really, really need to. Like
Yeah.
if it's like you cannot take it anymore, you can just be like, all right, that's the end of the sponsored stream. You know?
Yeah, they don't know how long you're contracted for.
Yeah, exactly. Your audience doesn't know that unless you explicitly said
Unless
it's
you
gonna be
said
2
it's-
hours, you know. But if you're not sure if you're gonna enjoy something, probably don't do that. But if you're not sure you're gonna enjoy it, just
Yeah.
try it out first before you're paid to do the thing. But just remember, your contract is like a rule book for a game. If you're dealing with a scumbag and try to avoid playing by the rules, or they may try to avoid playing by the rules, and it can be very difficult to collect your money from someone who is refusing to pay. Yes, extremely difficult. We've dealt with these things before, so it is known. But if you think of it like that, like a rule book for D&D, you know, like these people over here are a certain character type, and you can tell that they have these characteristics. They may try to do some stuff that is not favorable, so just kind of playing around that, trying to make it so it's not going to be bad for you, basically. It can be very difficult. It's just dealing with people. Business is hard. Business is hard.
I like Omid's wording. Streamer will be paid a prorated amount for the time completed in cases where the work isn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Prorated.
Much better than if I don't like your game, can I stop early? I mean,
nobody wants to hear that, right? Nobody wants to hear that. Yeah.
You'll probably scare them and just be like, wait, are you not going to like the game? Maybe we shouldn't do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's Litany asked, it might be jumping ahead here, and if so, I will wait, but what key pieces of information would be best to provide to potential sponsors? We actually should just move on to this. I was thinking average CCV when streaming similar service products, or if a service like drinks, for example, just a general average CCV, which stats like subscriber to viewer averages, for example. So this is a really good question. This is basically you're asking about our next section, which is sponsorship deliverables. Kind of. We kind of have. We'll combine these two things. I think is fine.
What is this extra light on me? Oh.
It's sun. It's the sun.
The sun is
I don't know.
touching
Do you
me?
know what that is? It's coming from right there. I see
No,
it.
I haven't met the sun in a
It's a
month.
day star. Oh, look at that. I'm capturing it in my hand.
Look at the day star.
Did we already do the thing? You did it already. Okay.
No, I didn't.
It says that though.
Oh.
I think she did it.
Oh. She did it.
She's babysitting us. We can't handle it.
Adri's gonna go fix my sun problem.
Is she? Oh, I hope she makes it worse. It'd be hilarious. Pull it down.
Makes it worse.
Pull it all down. She's
I'm
glowing.
getting blinded.
Day star. Pods of raw. Confirming not a vampire.
Darn it.
So
I could still be a werewolf though.
I think what you're asking about is like how you can represent yourself to the brand before you get the sponsored work. Like what to show to them of like why you should get this certain rate or something like that, right? If that's what you're asking, let's
The Dawn
see
Star.
the Dawn Star.
Sorry.
So something like that is like, you know, for us, a lot of the times what we show is average CCV, especially with things that are similar. So if it's like a game and it's BR, for example, if it's a Battle Royale type of game, and you have played other Battle Royale type of games in the past, it's impossible. It's impossible. She has to deal with it. No.
Can we request the assistance of a tall person?
The intern! He's like 7
the
feet tall.
intern is
The intern!
Giant.
He's a high schooler. He's like,
When I met him, he was sitting down, and then I saw him the next day, and I was like, "Oh my lord!"
I am shorter than the intern, but
Of course, you're shorter than the intern.
wow, what is that supposed to mean, Janessa?
You're shorter than a lot of us.
6'5"?
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I didn't see the rest. So It's probably good I didn't. Audrey's like stunned over
I'm
here.
really confused. You can't talk until you fix the thing, intern. Thank you.
Oh. That's him?
I mean, it's got to be, right?
Iceberg.
Iceberg.
Iceberg. Get it? It's cold. Berg.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Intern. You gonna help us? Thank you. It's in the
you.
corner.
The sun is attacking me.
I'm not.
I'm gonna die. Actually, I have looked straight into the bright spot like 3
Oh,
times
no.
and I have spots everywhere.
Can we do it? Is it done? You have to stand there for
I'm
another 30
too
minutes.
scared to
He
look
did
over there
it!
anymore.
He did it! Now you can talk and chat. Unban him, Omid.
Thank you.
Dying right now.
Bring a palm leaf to block the sun and
He
do
didn't-
not gaze at us.
He didn't even need to climb up anything. He
No.
just reached up with his hand.
Yeah.
Our
I don't even
insurance
think his arm
may
was
not
fully
cover
bent. It was like,
interns.
Yeah, he
No.
barely tried. He just
He was just like,
I'm so mad right now. He's so tall. Anyway,
He's 6'5".
in high school,
That's amazing.
what is my life? Oh my god, I was a life of a short person. Anyway,
but we were
so-
answering litany.
So yeah, if you're representing yourself to a brand, then showing your average CCV is great. Showing like your followers on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch, like all of these numbers, and putting that together into a fact sheet that you update frequently so the numbers are correct. And also something I always recommend because it's a really impressive number. A couple of them. One is your total followers across all platforms. So it's the wrapped up number of Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, whatever you have that
Your
you
reach.
use, your total reach.
The marketing term is total reach.
Wow. You're a
Like
marketing
Halo
person.
reach, but total reach.
Total
instead.
reach call. Jesus Christ.
I hate us.
We don't- I love us, okay? Just saying. But no, this is a good number to show because it's usually like pretty big. And it shows like how many people could potentially have eyes on the sponsored content that you're
Right.
going to put out.
Because you might not be doing Instagram work, but if it's a sponsored stream and you tell your Instagram that you're live, then they could potentially come in.
Exactly. And we definitely recommend trying to be on as many platforms as you feasibly can do. Instagram is fantastic. We've talked about it a bunch of times. She knows as the Instagram queen. She knows. Twitter is obviously great. It's a wonderful place for the gaming community. Twitch, Mixer, Facebook, wherever you stream, you want to be there, obviously.
She asked about subscriber numbers. I don't think that you have to do subscriber numbers, but if you have a lot of them, like,
If it's a number that you feel comfortable putting out there into the
Yeah.
world, sure.
then you might be able to make the argument that, like, this is how connected my community is. Like, this is how dedicated they are to me.
Loyal, right.
But I don't think that, like, that's a huge number that they really care about.
Yeah, right. And multiplied by 2 because people have 2 eyes. Do not multiply your total reach by 2 because this is not one reach and then this is the other. Like, it don't work like that. You got one brain, not 2. If you had 2 brains, maybe
so
I would
funny,
consider
though.
it. How do I ban myself? I can
My
do
own
it.
channel.
tried.
Delete channel.
You tried, it doesn't. Damn it. Well, I'm so sad. Maybe I could do it from my account. Maybe. No, I don't think I can.
JP Magic says, the person who made my graphics for me also made a page that I think is what you're describing.
Like a
Would a
fact sheet.
potential sponsor ask for this, or is it something I should be volunteering for to a potential sponsor? Both.
Yeah. Sometimes sponsors will ask for this because they have seen it before, but a lot of the times they won't. A lot of times they won't know to ask for it. A lot of times they won't know it exists. Maybe they've seen it before, but they're not going to ask you to provide that. There's always a benefit of being the first one to do a good thing. And the good thing is sending over that fact sheet, right? So you're talking to that sponsor about a potential, sorry, my nose is very itchy right now. You're talking to a sponsor about a potential sponsorship with you, a potential partnership. Send over that fact sheet. Be like, this is all the information you need about me. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Here are my social links. Like, please check out all this stuff. Like, you know, let's do this thing.
I guess I'm going to revive my answer.
Revive my answer.
Revise my answer and say you should always be sending it.
Yeah, it's you should not wait for somebody to ask, because it's not going to be an overstep
Yeah.
to provide it, because it's just like a slide, really. It's like a PDF you're sending over.
Yeah.
Or in an email, you're going to have this information, social links.
And they might not realize like how many other different things that you do. A lot of our clients get hit up on just Instagram work and don't even realize that they have a Twitch or a YouTube.
And it can be the other way around too. Like a lot of times, like we have clients who are trying to build more work for their Instagram pages. Instagram is the best example we have right now, because it's really where a lot of things are at. But they're trying to build that up a little bit more, and so it's like, oh, I didn't even know. Sacral, for example, like he has an Instagram. Oh, he can do sponsored work on the Instagram. It's gamer related, like awesome. What I recommend is if you're a gaming channel, if you stream and you do gaming stuff, and you have an Instagram that you want to be related to that, don't have just one type of content on Instagram. Like, talk about gaming stuff, but also talk about personal stuff, whatever you're comfortable with. Like, if you got dogs, like, post pictures of your dogs. Like, people love that kind of stuff. But it can be lifestyle and gaming in one. You can have both worlds. Surprisingly, you can. But it's good because it covers a lot of bases. TPain tagged us in an Instagram post, and we had 0 posts, so that was awkward. So don't be
Awkward.
like us.
Don't be like us.
In that one instance. Otherwise, just be exactly.
We're going to work on it. So everybody follow us at Instagram.com/OP_group.
That was perfect.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Can I multiply it by 4 because I have glasses? Yes. 1 oof, please. I'm Molten Slow.
1 oof.
I'm gonna need a certificate for 1 oof, please. Wait, I can have a cake and eat it too?
I don't want to
Yes.
feel like giving the sheet would discount any networking I did prior to handing the fact sheet over.
So you mean like any free work you may have done to promote their brand before you were sponsored by them?
Well, he says discount any networking, so he doesn't want it to seem like. I don't quite understand, because in this scenario, I mean, I think you should always ask for what you're looking for. So if you were responding to a company and you're like, hey, I would like to be affiliated with you, here's a PDF of my socials, and you can learn more about me by this attachment.
Yeah.
Then that'd be good.
I mean, I think that's fine. Like,
yeah.
I have a question.
yes.
What's usually in a fact sheet?
So fact sheets, we used to have an image we could pull up, but we don't have it ready right now. But a fact sheet basically will have your basic stats, your total reach, your follower numbers on different platforms, your average viewership if you have that, and it'll usually have a little bio about yourself. And a lot of people find this very difficult to write a bio about themselves, but try really hard. Maybe have somebody else write one for you, kind of edit it or something. But it kind of outlines like what your channel's about, what you are about, what your content usually shows. Maybe fun facts about you if you have some like, records you've broken, or like really exciting things you've done in your channel. Like maybe you made this tournament with your friends, and it was like maybe just a close.
I'm the #1 Fortnite streamer.
If you're the #1 Fortnite streamer, then like put that on there. Yeah, sure. But like, just kind of talking about yourself and your accomplishments that have to do with your content creation, most of all. And if you have any past sponsors you've worked with, highlighting them on there is always a great idea, because it shows that you've done that work before, you've done the work, and you know what a sponsorship is about, and you're professional, and you can do it again.
Well, Oliver, Fearless520, just linked an example of a fact sheet. So
It's his fact sheet, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we made one for him.
Oh, yeah.
As an example for office hours, yeah.
We've talked about fact sheets before on the channel, so if you want to see all of our old episodes, you can check out our YouTube.
Yeah. It has some of the old episodes on there. I don't know if that one's on there.
It has a lot more than our VODs, so. Look, Oliver's worked for Taco Bell before.
And Scion and StarCraft. Wow.
Okay, he should have put Lego on there just to like actually.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
You need to add Lego to your fact sheet, Oliver. But
Zion.
this is stuff that we usually add in our own fact sheets for our own clients. Is top 5 viewers by geolocation. This is always a fun thing to put in there because sometimes you'll have sponsors that are like, I really want to hire somebody who has a large base in Canada, maybe, or something like that. Like
Actually, that happened because one of our sponsors was launching a product in Canada.
Yeah, and they wanted somebody who was not only in Canada but had a large Canada community base. So yeah. It happens. Believe it or not, believe it or not. But it's good. And making it kind of look pretty too. I mean, use a little design, whatever you got kind of in your repertoire. And you don't need Photoshop for something like this. I don't know what we made this in, but you can make this in. There's a thing called
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint. You can
You're gonna say Paint?
Oh no, I was gonna say you can make an image in Pixlr. Pixlr is fantastic. I love Pixlr. It's free. It's like a free Photoshop Junior. It's amazing. I use it all the time. So, and then PowerPoint or Google's Slides. Google Slides also free. You just need to connect a Google account.
Yeah.
Stats are a bit out of date currently. Nice. Okay, I want to look at this. I gotta check it out. My current fact sheet. See, this is awesome.
Beautiful.
I love this. It's
online personality.
It's a good design.
Look at this photo.
The photo is very professional. It's a good headshot. And then you have, snippets of things. And that's really what I recommend is these little snippets of information, because usually you're going to be dealing with somebody who is very busy and they won't have a lot of time to read over if you make paragraphs of stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you have a couple paragraphs here about you, and then you have bullet points, and that's fantastic. That is always a good idea. I like this a lot.
I like this.
I like this stats right here. This is cool. I like that.
You got the games that you play. People can get a sense of what you're into.
Your affiliations.
Accomplishments.
Contact. It's like he made this while he was listening to us and then posted it. I feel like you're cheating.
You do really fast work.
Yeah, that was incredible. Make mine. No, I don't need one. I don't do anything. I
would accept payment in the form of Taco Bell.
That's it.
We still have a bunch of things to talk about.
I know, and not a lot of time.
And we got 10 minutes.
What did we do here? This never happens.
This is a very popular episode.
Popular episode.
Popular. We didn't even talk about this one.
I know.
So we can go through it really quickly.
So when you were completed with a sponsored stream, after you have, bagged the deal and you've done it, then you always should send reporting. And this is sometimes if you're working directly with a sponsor or an agency, they won't ask you for anything.
No.
If you're working for an agency, a lot of times they will make their own reporting, but you should send additional stuff to them.
So what's reporting, Audrey? What does it mean?
So reporting, Janessa,
Please teach me.
is kind of like everything that you did that was an obligation. You want to prove that you've done it and that you completed your obligations. So this can be clips of talking points from your stream, clips of fun moments that you had during your stream, screenshots of you putting the panel image, the title, chatbot if that was required, screenshots of any social posts that you needed to put up, as well as like a screenshot of like maybe the statistics from the tweets you did, so they know how many impressions or things like that, or the Instagram post. And then your stats from your stream. There are a certain amount of stats that anybody can grab from the API of Twitch, from any stream, but you as the actual content producer, as the actual streamer on any platform, you have access to more statistics than are just available online to anybody. So like you can find out more information about where your audience came from, more information about unique viewership and things like that, and chatters than anybody can get. So
maybe we should do an episode on like how to do all
these and how to navigate the dashboard on different platforms.
Yeah, like a Twitch platform or whatever. That'd be good. And then it'd be like, how to set up a chatbot timer.
Done. We're doing this.
We're doing it.
We're doing this. It's perfect.
We're doing sponsorships 102.
We are. Look at. Well, we can definitely expect a sponsorship 102 at some point, everybody. Hey, with Padre again. Odds of war. Let's do it.
Odds of war.
Let's do it.
So yeah, basically anything that is considered a deliverable.
And if there was additional stuff that wasn't necessarily an obligation, but you did something, or you noticed something, the more stuff you send, the better, honestly. As long as you're not like sending 18 2-minute long clips, like that can get a little crazy. But like if you notice somebody in your chat was like, this is super cool, I'm gonna check this out, screenshot that. I do that all the time for our clients. Like if I see positive reactions from chat, I mark that because it's a clear indication that it's working, right? Like somebody else was like, I am excited about this. A breakdown of how to use the Twitch dashboard effectively would be really helpful. It's kind of a maze at times, and there's a lot of information in very different places. So yes, we need to do that. We're going to do that. It's gonna happen. Boom. I almost knocked my coffee over. Too excited, too excited.
So some things that are usually asked for when we're doing like a sponsored segment, it's either game or like a monthly thing. A panel image. There's usually something, down below the player that includes a picture as well as a link. This is usually a tracking link, and you also want to have talking points. So one of your talking points might be telling your audience, hey, there's an image below my panel. If you want to learn more about the game, click it. It's important to actually verbally say those things.
Yes.
Because not everybody scrolls down there.
Well, and then also that's a clip that you can take to show that you were telling people about the panel image.
Yeah, to prove to the sponsor.
Yes, click it. That's usually what I title those clips as well.
And your stream might be 8 hours and your sponsored stream was only 1 hour. Do you know how hard it is for somebody else to come find out when you did your talking points and your thing? Like, it's ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
It's so hard.
So kind of like if you're doing this on your own and you have to go back later and find these things, marking down like kind of a time, like a timestamp when you did that is always a good idea.
I'll give you something helpful.
Okay.
If you're a streamer, you can do /marker, and it literally marks up that point in your stream.
That's incredible.
If you have a stream deck, you can make a button that says like, bloop, marked.
You probably did something.
No, this is an empty button.
Marked.
Then you can go back to the VOD in the highlighter. You have to go to your VOD and then put like edit highlight or whatever. You'll be able to see all the markers.
We'll talk about that in our sponsorship of 1 or 2 show. We'll show you how to do it. This is already happening. Yeah, like
what else we got?
Marking those things down. Another thing to always take a clip of is any sponsorship disclosures that you did. They may not specifically ask to see any of those things, and it may be boring for them to see a clip of that, but it's good because then you are also saving it on your own and covering your own base in case something else comes up. In case anybody tries to say, you didn't say that this was an ad, you didn't say that you were paid for this, you can actually prove that you were. So marking those kind of things, making that very clear. I did the disclosures at the beginning and the end of my stream. That's what we recommend, by the way, the beginning and the end of the sponsor stream, at least, and maybe in the middle. Cover all your base. The entire base. That one base you have, cover the whole thing.
All your base
All your base.
are belong to us.
Damn it. How did I let that slip past me?
I don't know.
How did I let that slip past me?
Adri did it.
It's an
So
old one, but a good one.
I'm so
good
disappointed
one.
in myself right now. As usual. And then
wait.
You have no chance to survive. Make your time.
I got a reference.
Yeah, you got it and I didn't, and I'm
never
really
get a
disappointed right now.
reference, Ever.
It's true, guys. It's freaking true. Anyway, so that's like, that's some of the stuff that you would like to include in a report. Any times where there was like product placement for something, if you have a wearable, if you're eating or drinking the product on stream, if you're being hosted or rated by another channel, or hosting or rating a channel that the sponsor might like another person sponsored by that company, or maybe that company's own channel, like just marking all those things, even if it's not something that was included in your small activation.
Right.
It's just more stuff that's proving that you're a good partner to work with. That was... Audrey, you have no chance to survive. Make your time.
Sorry, Audrey.
Damn it. I have to make my time, guys. We only have 5 minutes to make my time, okay?
Make my time.
And then, you know what? I'm going to click the button, okay? Successful sponsorships. It moves to the fire for.
Yeah.
It says fire still. It's not fire anymore. Box.
I think we already talked about all these.
we did a little bit. It kind of just, it's kind of hard not to talk about this kind of stuff when you're just talking about the subject of sponsorships. But there are numerous factors that play into successful sponsorship, and a lot of those are going to be coming directly from the sponsor. They decide what their KPIs are. Janessa, what is a KPI?
Don't throw it to me.
What is a KPI, Janessa?
Don't throw it to me.
Key something. I was throwing it to you because I can't remember. Dang it. Key.
It stands for Key Performance Indicator.
That's it. Key Performance Indicator. Thank you, Malton Slowa. That was all you. Thank you. Thank you for helping
Key
me.
Performance Interval.
Interval. Key Performance Indicator, interval, whatever you want to call it. But it's what the sponsor, what the person paying you, what the brand wants to see that will indicate to them that your stream is a success. And marking these things up ahead of time is your best bet to making sure you're going to be successful.
Right.
Like if their main indicator for success is clicks on your tracking link and you didn't know that, and you mention your tracking link like twice, maybe once, then you're probably not going to get that many clicks on it, and they're going to be sad because there's not a lot of clicks there.
Right.
So knowing that ahead of time, they're like, this is our key indicator that you did a good job, is if you get this many clicks on this, or like we can get an estimate around this many, then you're going to talk about your link the entire time, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be like, click that link, guys. Hey, there's a link in chat. There's a link in my panel. They're both the same. Go click those links. Check out the link in the link, and you click the link, and then you click the link. Yes.
If the KPI was having a lot of viewers, then you would be like, well, I'm not gonna do this at the beginning of my stream. I'm gonna do this segment when I've been live for 5 hours and I've already got everybody. Or you're gonna be like, hey, maybe you'll tell your audience, hey, I'm gonna be streaming on this day. Come check me out on this day.
And something I know a lot of people do this when they do bounty board stuff is they wait until they get rated.
Right.
If they know that they're going to get rated by somebody, then they'll wait until that raid starts, and then they'll start their sponsored segment. I don't necessarily recommend doing that because it's never a guarantee.
Right.
Somebody could forget. You're relying on somebody else to do something. Plus,
most of our stuff is scheduled
yes,
out.
you want to tell your sponsor ahead of time usually
Yeah.
when you're doing something so they can watch it as well.
Pretty much the only thing that you can do on the flight like that is bounty board.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing because you kind of turn it on. Set up a Twitch event for it. Yes, if it's a perfect fit for your audience, I would say yes. If it's a perfect fit for you and your audience. Because something that can sometimes happen is people may not show up because it's a sponsored stream.
Yeah, they
Which
might be
is
like,
bad.
oh, they're
It's
doing
normal.
that thing that they're paid to do.
I don't want to watch this.
I don't want to watch it.
Murder.
When if they were just there, they would realize like what a good job you did integrating it. It doesn't feel like you're selling out or anything.
Yeah.
Um,
Ugh, I hate that word.
I don't like that word either. But some people are like,
It's a big deal to some people, and
Yeah.
there's definitely a big culture around that in streaming. And so, like, telling your audience ahead of time, like, I'm doing this sponsored thing on this day at this time, it might actually get them to not show
yeah.
up. But
I would just say I'm doing a real cool stream.
I'm
Come
going to be
check
streaming
it
this
out.
game, or I'm going to be checking out this product. You know, that's a little more, like, inviting, right?
God, I thought it was happening again.
We have a door right here, what nobody uses, but there's a mailbox, and we've scared Janessa
They
several
scared me
times.
twice last time I was on this show.
Oliver tried, but he didn't scare me. I was not scared.
He tried
I heard
today?
him. I was sitting here. You weren't here yet.
Oh gosh.
You were still doing your makeup. But one of the channels I watch most regularly loses about 25% of their viewer for every sponsored event without fail.
Oof.
And
That's
that
not. They
happens.
must be doing something wrong.
If you're a variety streamer, it's usually easy to keep your not easy. I'm not gonna say it's easy. It's usually easier to keep your audience present during sponsored content. if you're doing something that fits with your channel. If you're doing things that like don't make any sense, like you only play League of Legends and then you get sponsored to play PUBG, a lot of your audience is probably not going to hang around.
Right, yeah.
Because they're very different games, and people watching MOBAs are probably not going to be enjoying BRs as much. So, like...
So maybe that's not a natural fit.
It might not be a
for
natural
that person.
fit. Exactly.
And that is something that we do send reporting on. One of the stats that we do is how much percentage of the audience stayed.
It's retention.
Retention.
That's what retention is. I think you may be able to see that on the Twitch dashboard somewhere, but you can kind of see your viewership curve, right?
Yeah, you'll just take the number of what your viewership was when you started, and then your viewership at the end, and some also them along the way, and you can average it out by just figuring out the difference.
It's math.
It's math.
You can quick maths it.
Maybe not quick maths.
It's long math.
I'm very bad at maths.
I got a calculator.
Do you remember my 12 inches to the 12
yeah,
months
one year is 1 foot.
One year is
I
1
remember.
foot.
Yeah.
12.
Let's see. People here sponsored and Run for the Hills. It happens a lot. It's getting better. In my experience here, it's getting a lot better. People are not saying sell it as much. They don't really believe in that as much as they used to. So that's nice. You remember my 12 inches, she says. Yeah. I think it's good to end this stream here.
Just like, Omid always catches me saying the strangest things.
And that's where we're going to leave it.
You weren't there in Ensenada. You weren't at the...
I wasn't there yet.
You didn't get off the boat.
I did.
You did?
She was there.
Oh, girl, I don't know if you want to talk about this on stream.
Yeah, I'm not sure about
I got there when you were dancing all over the place.
Maybe she was there.
I was there. I got there late, but I was there.
Frizz, thank you for the host.
Oh my God, hi. Oh no, it's 4:02.
Well, we can take some questions.
Yeah, I'm up for staying longer. Let's go. Hello, everybody. Welcome, people from First Stream. Hello.
Thank you so much. If anybody has any questions about sponsorships that you guys want to ask us before we end our office hours, let us know.
It depends on how excited the streamer is about the sponsored content. I am a huge proponent of this. I absolutely believe you. Office hours 24-hour marathon today. Yep, right now. Let's do it. I don't have things to do.
One sponsorship, please.
I have nothing to do. Just kidding. I have a lot of things to do. But yeah, it's about the attitude you present. If you're like, okay, well, we gotta stop playing this because we gotta switch over and do the sponsored thing. Like, that's not fun. Like, the excitement you were feeling for the game you were playing and then moving on to your sponsored thing just like died completely. So it's been like, okay, guys, we got a really exciting opportunity. I'm very excited today. We're going to be sponsored by blah, 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 blah. And I'm really excited to show this game off or show this product off. Like, I hope you guys enjoy it too. If you are interested in checking it out, there's a link over in the chat and there's a link in the panel image. There's an image down there. Check it out yourself. Get in the game with me. Check out this product, whatever. Man, you know what? Why am I not being paid to do stuff? That was on point. On point.
You're so good at sponsorships, Audrey. Another way to say it is
because I watch them all the time.
I know, right?
I've learned because I watch them all the time.
In case you didn't catch it, we're the ones scraping through the VODs being like, where is this sponsor?
I look through all your VODs. That's me.
Where is it? It's easier now that Twitch has the chapter select.
Oh my God, it's my favorite thing ever.
If you change your game, oh my God, like, oh, you just changed that game. Now I know where to start.
Now I know where it is.
That's
I will
nice.
take payment in exposure, preferably.
No.
Frisk.
No.
Stop it.
Don't you dare.
Girl. No. No exposure. No. Exposure is great for brands, like we said earlier. Whereas you don't, you know what? Exposure bucks cannot pay the rent. I know this.
I know this.
I know this.
Nope.
My landlord will not take exposure bucks. She doesn't know what that means.
That's funny.
She's 95 years old. Wait. I can't pay my rent with exposure.
You can't, Frizz.
You know what? If you've been paying your rent with exposure bucks, I'm moving to your
stay
place. There. Yeah, yes. Stay there forever. Oh my gosh, I'm like dying right now.
I think one way to pitch it to your audience is just like, hey, the next hour of the stream is sponsored, and that's awesome because it means that, you know, I'm being able to take care of my family and to be able to pay my bills and stuff because I'm playing this game instead of relying on subs and donations from you guys.
Like, you guys don't have to worry. Like, you know, sit back, relax, enjoy this. Like, I can support myself off streaming, and that's really awesome, and it's my dream. So enjoy my dream.
Enjoy my dream. And then if people are complaining, they'll be like, why don't you believe in my dreams?
This is my dreams. Don't kill my dreams. It's true though, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a fact of it.
Think about a YouTube video. Like, I've seen someone being like, hey, this is sponsored today, so I don't have to run ads on this video.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, like, one of my, I have a few favorite YouTubers, but one of my favorite ones, Safia is her name. She has done a couple sponsored videos. She's very, very picky with the sponsored stuff she does, but she's done a couple that she was able to go into like makeup stores and buy thousands of dollars worth of products because of the sponsored video, like the ad on her video. She was like, okay, well, this is sponsored by this company today that's providing me the funds to buy every shade of lipstick in the MAC store, which is a thing, and then cut them all down and melt them down into one monster lipstick.
No.
It's amazing. Watch it. They did one with candles. Oh my God, I can't even. Watch that channel. It's
Watch
good.
me destroy things.
Sophia Nygaard. It's amazing. Anyway.
I do watch her.
Oh, you do?
I do, yeah.
Yay.
She does some real girly things sometimes.
I love her
Like
so
girly
much.
reviews.
She's a bat.
She is a bat.
She is a bat. That's what she calls
Did you
herself.
watch her engagement video?
I cried. Okay, I don't even want to talk about this right now. I was like, okay. I'm
It
sorry.
was so cute. It was
Anyway.
at Disneyland.
It was at
Duh.
Disneyland. Don't make me cry again. Stop it. It's
Okay.
really good. So it's 407.
I didn't
Oh my
see
God.
any other questions.
I haven't. Do you guys have any other questions? If you do, you got about 60 seconds to ask a question.
Do you take payment in V-Bucks? You could, like, sponsors can pay me in magic gems. I'd be okay with that.
Wow, MTG.
I'd be okay with that.
At what point, thank you, is Litany. At what point would you say it's worth pursuing sponsorships for streamers with lower average CCV, i.e. like ROI of time? It's an interesting question because a lot of, like, if you're on the lower end of CCV, you may be saying, hey, I can do a lot of content for you. So if you're willing to take the time to do a lot of content for something, then it's worth it for you and it's worth it for the sponsor. Sponsors, I mean, generally, like, if you're at a company and you're trying to tell them they need to work on Twitch, like, you should hire this content creator, this influencer is fantastic. It's gonna be $50. Like, they're not gonna bother with something that's only gonna cost them $50, right? So making yourself like a huge asset of like, okay, this is, you know, I'm gonna do 4 2-hour streams. I'm gonna show this content. What specific things would you like to highlight for me to show my audience? Would you like me to do like tutorials of these things? And making yourself a bigger asset by providing an entire suite of content that you can create, that's just going to help you because then it's a bigger amount that you can get, hopefully. And it's actually something that they can kind of present to their superiors, their higher ups of like, you know, if we spend this $700 on this person, they're going to make us all these things and it's worth your time and theirs to do it. So, yeah.
It's just about, like, what you think your value is and what you think you're worth. It's hard because I don't think that there's necessarily a point where, like, okay, I'm ready for sponsorship. Like, there's a growing point. There's the point where you get things sent to you for free.
Yes.
There's the point where you're doing affiliates.
You're getting percentages, yes.
And then there's the one where, like, okay, now I'm doing monthly sponsorships for the next year. So, I mean, you're doing sponsorships the entire time. They're just different kinds.
Yes. Like non-endemic and endemic, you're going to do all kinds of variety of things. So, this table is like hitting the other table. So then every time I move okay, we're good now. We did it.
Oh,
I fixed it.
That's what was happening.
So lower average CCV pursuing giving bigger bundles of work for the brands to secure, essentially. Basically, yes.
Well, yeah, because you don't just have your viewership to run off of.
Exactly. So like you may be doing more work, but it's going to be more beneficial for you because it's not just an actual drop in the bucket of like, you know, I have to pay my bills. You know, I got to pay my bills. I got to do my rent this month.
Yeah.
I need to figure out how I can make this worth it. It's not going to be much more work for you to do this extra content. And if it's a really good fit for your brand and your channel anyway, like you might already be gonna, wow, this sentence is really bad. You might already be planning, there it is, on playing hours and hours and hours of this game or showing this content or this product on stream already. You might as well get paid to just play all those hours. Might as well just be sponsored at that point.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not? If you're going to do a big launch event for a game, I definitely encourage reaching out to that game like, hey, I'm really excited that your game is coming out really soon. I plan on doing this large launch event on my channel. It would be great if you could give me additional support to really make this launch event huge for my audience and huge for my channel. I would love to do some giveaways maybe. If you could provide some game keys, that would be fantastic. And if I could, if I had a monetary backing, I could do more hours of this content on my stream. And it just gives them a reason of like, oh, look, we have some game keys to give away. I think we have some budget to give you to secure that this thing is going to happen and you're going to do 8 hours worth of content. Like, boom, there you go. It doesn't always happen that way.
No. The worst thing they can say is no.
Exactly.
And then, even then, you had a business contact.
You had a business contact with them. They're gonna, that your name is in their brain now. So if they have sponsored work to do in the future, they may not have the budget right away. But if they do later, then they're gonna think, oh, that person was really into our game. They did this big launch event. Do you remember that? Like, that was cool. Let's throw some money their way, hopefully. That's the hope. And like Janessa said, the worst thing they're gonna do is say no. So don't do, hundreds and hundreds of hours of free work.
No.
Like, play the games you want to play. If you're like, I really think this game is going to sponsor me, don't do hours of work to try to get them to. Like, that's not going to work that way. Like, just do your thing, make events out of things, and really like show that your channel has some power to it, that your audience is loyal and they're gonna come in and like, wave their flags of your channel around and play the game. I don't know. Any thoughts about identifying potential sponsors for streamers in the creative space? So I really like this question because the creative space is becoming bigger and bigger on streaming platforms in general. And I think a lot of where sponsored opportunities can come in there, if you're not playing games on your channel, and obviously you're not going to be doing sponsored gaming streaming, it'd be non-endemic stuff.
Yeah. Or
like hardware sponsorships. You still probably need headphones, probably need a microphone, maybe a stream deck or something like that. Like, there are different peripheral sponsors out there that would work for creative streamers. And then there is, what am I thinking? Non-endemic stuff like energy drinks, coffee, clothing, food, things like that. But there's definitely opportunities there.
I still think that there's some things that you could do in the creative space, like the things that you're working with. I mean, if you have an overhead camera and they're seeing your pen because you're drawing, you can, like, people in your chat are naturally going to be like, what are you drawing with? What pen is that?
Is that a big pen?
No, like an artist pen.
Oh.
Like a micron.
Oh.
I don't know.
Macron? The French?
Adri knows. She's an artiste. What? What's a fancy drawing pen? Never mind.
You put her on the spot. Ticonderoga.
That one. Click the
It's
link
already
in the
been
pen.
fine.
Oh my gosh.
Bic is an artist pen? Apparently not. That's what I heard today. So.
But like, it's kind of a stretch. But you could talk to a game company and be like, hey, if you sponsor this segment of the stream, I will draw your character and I will give the talking points about the game that's coming out.
I like this idea a lot because it's showing a very unique side of streaming that I think a lot of companies don't think about. Is like, hey, do you you want to talk about your game, but you want to do something a little bit different. Well, I have an art channel that I paint on and I do drawings, and I would love to draw some of your characters, or you're a cosplayer, maybe you're making your costumes on stream. I would love to dress up as one of your characters, and you could get sponsorships from that. I know actually a lot of cosplayers get sponsored to go to conventions and be on the floor dressed up as characters from games. Like all the time it happens. Pretty much anytime you're at a convention.
And those things are expensive.
They're very expensive. Anytime you're at a convention and you see a very high-end costume cosplay at a booth for that, like this is a character from Overwatch and this is the Overwatch booth. This doesn't really happen, but they're probably being paid to be there
They better be.
yeah, well I would hope, because those costumes are very expensive, and their talent that is attracting people to come to their booth. So.
I used to be a costume character at SeaWorld.
I actually didn't know that.
Really?
No, I didn't know that.
It is work to be standing in like one area,
Yeah.
meeting people, taking pictures, talking to them, make sure you're not getting harassed. Like that's all work.
Yes, I did that at a haunted hotel.
Yeah.
And it was scaring people, and it's so hard. Like,
It's
believe
hard.
me, it's hard, people, and you sweat in those costumes.
Oh yeah.
So, appreciate your cosplayers. They work hard. I used to be an educator at SeaWorld.
Oh,
What? SeaWorld, woo. What was that hand motion you just did? Okay. Presumably, there's a different approach for a streamer to take. Oh my God. Presumably, there's a different approach for a streamer to take if they're approaching companies that have never considered sponsoring a streamer. Absolutely. Does OPG have, that's a gift. Does OPG have some kind of boilerplate pitch for explaining the purpose of a sponsorship? So we're kind of building that out right now, actually. That's one of our projects, is building out more like kind of boilerplate things like that. But there is like, a lot of that is showing a sponsor past work, not that necessarily that you've done, but that has been done in the space. For example, this is something that a lot of people do, is a stream like this or a sponsorship like this. Some other people have done sponsorships like this, where it includes these things.
Yeah.
But just kind of explaining everything that includes and why it's valuable. Being like, posting a link in the chat bot. This chat bot posts this link every 5 to 10 minutes. Every time that it's posting, there's new people in the audience that will see this link and could potentially click it and check out the product further. And it's explaining every bit of what the potential obligations can include. It just helps put a purpose to each thing and why it should be something that they should do and something that they should put money toward.
Right.
Just
spell
tough,
everything out, because
spell it out.
Just don't assume that they realize the value of that certain thing.
And a lot of those companies, they don't see the value yet, which a lot of companies have dealt with traditional media, radio, television, commercials, celebrities, things like that for decades. So we are kind of coming in from left field here. Like, this is a totally different way to do it, and it's better
Changing the game.
because the way that the streaming platforms work is that people watch streamers and they feel like they're family. They feel like they're friends. So it's more like, what is that called? Like
Mouth to mouth.
mouth to mouth advertising than it is when a traditional celebrity says something to somebody like, you should buy this product, but then you have a friend that's saying you should buy this product. You take that into different consideration. So word of mouth.
Word of mouth. I said mouth to mouth.
And I said it was fine. I said it was oh my god, guys.
Amit's gonna come back and be like, okay, we need a vocab refresh.
Yeah. Sort of unrelated question from Missing Novice. Do you think there's an ideal number of chatbot timers to have? Sometimes I feel like the fact that I have quite a few means some. Oh my god. Sometimes I feel like the fact that I have quite a few means that some barely ever get seen. I don't think Streamlabs chatbot has an option to edit individual timed messages frequencies. It should.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it does. I'm not sure exactly where it is. If
It should have a time as well as like the minimum amount of chat numbers that have to pass. like
before it's reset.
right.
Right.
If you have a timer and it's set to 5 minutes and 5 minutes happens but nobody said anything, it won't post again.
So it won't spam your chat, basically.
Right.
I
will give your
Yeah,
brand
there's
now.
absolutely a way to do that, and I think that's something else we could go over in Sponsors 102.
Yeah.
But in general, like, having chatbot messages, it really depends on how fast your chat moves. If your chat is moving like crazy fast, having messages come up every 10 minutes is not going to be as noticeable as if it moves really slow and then you have a message come up every 10 minutes. It's like, I just saw this.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe you have it set to 30 minutes or, well, 30 minutes would be
depends on
once an
your
hour, I
chat.
guess. So yeah, it really depends on your chat and what you think is acceptable. And listening to that feedback too. If people in your audience are like, oh my God, if I see this message to check out your merch store one more time, you know.
I know that for sponsored streams, they'll usually want it about every 15 or 20 minutes.
Yep.
Because the stream is not that long. It's like an hour, 2 hours. If it's every 30, then that's only like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. If it's a long-term sponsorship, it'll be different, but
Yeah, if it's a monthly thing where that's always there, then,
yeah,
you know.
depends on the length of the sponsorship and things like that. Sending for all the time messages. We'll look into that, and if when we do sponsorship
When we do 102, when we get into the technical, how do we do the things?
We'll talk more about that. Yes. Perfect. Any other questions? It is way past our bedtime.
Past time.
Yeah.
It's past our bedtime indeed. I think it's time for
I
us to
gotta
go.
do some Instagram work.
Oh, you do? Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta work on a proposal.
So follow that Instagram. Yes, you can have a cookie.
Can I have
Okay, guys, thank you so much for checking into the stream.
Is it bedtime in San Diego? Not me.
Also, never ask. I'm gonna be at Universal on Saturday.
That's true, actually.
They said that they worked at
Yeah.
Universal.
Yeah.
Which brands would you want to give mouth to mouth to? Taco Bell. Duh.
I'm gonna leave now.
And with that, we leave you. We'll be back next week on Friday. Do we know what we're talking about? Well, do you know?
It'll be more stuff that's in here.
more stuff.
We're kind of doing a whole series of things that are in our training document, actually. So this was the first part of that series.
Congratulations.
So-
You were that much closer to being one of our employees.
Kind of.
If
No
we
no
liked
official
you,
certification.
And if we needed you.
Yes. You're here. Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in so much. Happy Friday. Have a fantastic weekend. We will see you next week. If you're going to PAC South, have a super time. Let us know if you would like to set up any meetings, and we can see what we can do. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.